Well, here we go. We're gonna finish this guitar up today. It's one that I've had on the bench, on and off the bench for the last close to a year. This is a 1970 Gibson J-40 that is owned by the owner of my shop, my fearless leader, and he and his son use this guitar often to do song composing. They have guitars that they use for playing live, a Martin and a Taylor, and this one was used for live performances by him. It has probably played at least 1,000 live shows in its lifetime, maybe more. It's hard saying. Don't know what happened to it before he acquired the instrument. It was purchased used, I believe, and it's definitely been modified a lot. As you can see, there are extra screw holes here in the headstock where the original machine heads were replaced with some that made this a player's grade guitar. As we all know, Gibson machine heads are common failure. They're not the greatest machine heads in the world in many cases, and obviously these screws have been put in multiple times and stripped out by who knows what screwdriver has been used on these. But we're going to keep the patina about it. I did not clean the machine heads at all. We're going to keep the original look of this guitar as best as I can. I don't know, I think these are Spurtzels maybe? I'm not sure. They have kind of an interesting little logo on them. No, they're not Spurtzels, forgive me. I don't know what the brand is. But anyhow, this is one of the final things I have to do on this guitar to just prior to putting strings back on it. And it's been a really long process with some very awesome help, and I'm very grateful to John Sinclair for building the beautiful maple binding that we used on this. It was being played by the owner's son, and again composing a lot of material for their band. This is his home guitar generally, and I'm guessing this thing will probably be hung up here at the shop for a while and get used for rehearsals and things like that. Beautiful guitar, great string action. The frets are very, very well worn, as you will see soon, and because the guitar has thousands of miles and hours on it. And I'm just finishing up the last little bit of hardware that I have to do after spending nearly 2 days buffing, sanding, and buffing out the finish on this instrument. And it is really a beautiful guitar, and you will see how much abuse this guitar has taken as soon as I can flip it over. And I'm going to be real quick with this stream. I just thought I'd share this with you all and document this on the interweb so that maybe my boss can take a look at it. Let me wipe these knobs off real quick. Again, I just finished up buffing this guitar out, so the finish is just gorgeous. It's a little bit sticky right now due to the polish that I used on the instrument, which that will wear off in moments after it's getting played for a little bit. So really excited to have this one being done, and all of us here at the shop have been really anxious to get it done, but you know, I have to prioritize my clients that are bringing their instruments in that need them back for gigs and such. and this was not necessarily on that priority list. So it's taken a long time to get this one done. It was probably, including dry time for the lacquer that we had to shoot on it, probably could have gotten this done in about 4 weeks-ish. That's waiting for the lacquer to cure and all that. But it's taken nearly a year. And again, this is a Gubson J-40 model. Still has the original sticker on the inside. I'll show you all of that stuff. We're going to use some clear tone 11 gauge acoustic guitar strings on it. I was going to mess with him and put some electric guitar strings on it just to kind of see if he would, what kind of reaction I could get out of him, but sarcasm is one of my strong suits. So let's see if I can get these unwound. Clear Tone does a great job winding these strings up. Makes them a little bit difficult to get undone, but we'll do it. Have all the original end pins. I believe they're on the inside of this thing or in the case. I can't remember what I did with it. What did I do with those? What did I do with those end pins? I'm going to have to find the end pins now. Good grief. There we go. Not a fan of, I still like Ernie ball strings because they wrap each one individually in a bag, which is really cool. And it makes my job a little bit easier, and yours a little bit easier, but this ain't my first rodeo. Let's see. Where? Oh, that's right. This thing doesn't have end pins. I forgot. It has this, which I am not a fan of, but that's my thought on that. That's right. So here we go. These, I'm not a big fan of these, although this one has a lot of wood left on it, but Breedlove does that on a lot of their guitars. And these end up breaking on those guitars quite often. If you've ever owned one or had to work on one or played one, you've probably seen a Breedlove with broken, one of those broken, the bridge. It's a bridge. It's not a saddle, it's a bridge. There we go. This will be cool. I get to hear it play some music again for the first time in quite a long time. Pretty cool. Again, I'm not a big fan of these, just you can call me old school, whatever you want. I like end pins. And with these, you don't have a whole lot of room for error on them. And we'll get you a whole overview of the guitar once I get strings on it. We'll show you all we've done up close and personal like. And I want to say thank you to my sponsors of my show and my channel. I am very grateful for your help and encouragement in trying to share guitar work and theory playing on my channel, and I'm grateful to you. You know who you are, and you've asked to be anonymous, and I will stick to that agreement that I have with you. You've been very cool and very helpful and very generous. I'm grateful for that. Let's see. I'll leave my string winder. There it goes. It's making noise for the first time in well over a year. I love it. There we go. You heard it. The first note it's played in, I think it's been over a year. And also, I want to say a huge thanks to John for your hard work and beautiful work that you did in making the binding for this instrument. It's beautiful. It fit very well. It was big enough. I didn't have to really shim much or do anything like that. It was wide enough that I was able to sand it down to fit these wide slots. It has a very wide binding for a Gibson acoustic. It may not look like it at first glance, but and we did both the binding on the top and the back of this instrument. And I did not shoot video of any of that because I simply needed to get this thing done. And that takes time, very time consuming. I wish I did have the video of the whole process, but I don't know. If you've ever made YouTube videos, you might understand how long it takes to do that stuff. So I did not do that. I wish I did. Say hello to all my friends from Jamland. Looking forward to the next Jamland episode we will do. I don't have anything scheduled yet. And waiting to hear from guys who are willing, able to play. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. My email is readily available. You know where to find it. There you go. And forgive me if I'm not looking at the chat or responding to anyone. I haven't even looked at it since I started the stream, simply because I'm really trying to hustle on this one. Just because we're in a hurry to get it done. It may be playing a gig this weekend. Who knows? What do you think, Stu? Perfectly in tune. Perfectly in tune. Oh, Lars, hey man. Lars, here's an update, dude. I think that our friend has figured out how to do that. We're hopefully going to be doing a test tonight. He found an app or something. I don't know if you gave him the information. If you did, I'm very grateful to you for that. Thank you. And I don't know where he got the info for it, but he did. I think he did tell me last night that you had reached out to him, and dude, I appreciate that. Very kind of you. He found an app. We're going to give it a shot tonight, and we are all very, very hopeful to get him able to jam with us on Jamland. And also, if you have any players on your that you hang with in your specific music community, or people subscribe to your channel that are interested in coming over and playing some guitar live on the interweb, please send them my direction. I'd appreciate that. Loopback from, okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I think he may have named that last night. I don't remember exactly. I'm not a Mac dude, so I had no idea how the I was aware of the loopback thing, and I'll just take a moment to comment on that. I was aware of the loopback app. I did not know how it would work with the Universal Audio UAD stuff and Apollo stuff. So that stuff is very specific as far as I understand, and I don't know how the hierarchy in a Macintosh machine works because I've never owned one. So if he had a Windows machine, I could have got him going, but you know how that goes. But they are great tools, very powerful tools, and I'm just super excited to see if this thing works. All right, so we're going to tune this thing up, check the string action. These are clear tone 11 gauge. We're using fairly light gauge strings on this. 11s are not terribly light. They're medium light, I guess, or light. Yeah, well, we're hopeful. And I'm curious, man, do you use UAD stuff on your Mac? Because I looked at that audio interface. It's so interesting how different the dialect is. You know, where Windows stuff calls one thing something, and then Macintosh intentionally, Windows intentionally calls it something else, and it means the exact same thing. It's just it's annoying, isn't it? Can't we all just be friends? Now, I've put tons of sets of strings on this guitar in the past, so this is nothing new with regards to having worked with this guitar many times. Does that work? I figured so. Thank you. Appreciate it much. What should we bill him for that?
Whatever you think of.
Cool mill?
Yeah, a million. I think a mill's a good idea. Bench charge always at least $15 to $20 no matter what. If he was me.
You have about an hour into it?
About a half hour. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. It works fine though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fast signal great on both sides.
Okay, excellent. Well, you're hearing it, Stu. It's back to life.
Yep, I was enjoying that.
And it looks pretty nice too.
I think it looks great.
I didn't have much of a chance of making it look perfect, but I didn't shoot the whole thing
It's
brand new.
appropriate for the guitar, really. It's really I think it looks super good. This one's always had a little bit of a dead little string because it doesn't have any down angle.
Oh yeah.
But it's
there's almost no angle.
None at all. Yeah. But when you dig in, it barks.
Yeah, there's none. What we're talking about here on this instrument is that and another reason that I don't like these, because you don't have any option to make the string have fall away behind the saddle. If you get down to a certain height, where you almost always on a acoustic guitar, the neck angle will change over years of use and abuse, and I have nowhere to take that string to get it lower. If it had an end pin in here, I would be able to cut a divot, which many manufacturers do that when the guitar is built. But as you can see on this one, and there needs to be a certain degree of fall away behind the saddle for there to be enough tension on the bend so that there's no vibrations. This guitar doesn't vibrate yet, but I don't think we're too far away from that. This thing has been beat to death. Okay, so let's look at the guitar real quick. Here is the beautiful binding that I've put on this. It is bird's eye maple that we've done and got it to fit very nicely, and you can see all of the divots in the finish here that I just basically had no chance of getting that flat. There's just nothing I could do about it, so it's definitely not perfect, which I knew that going in. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to make this thing look perfect and get all the edges lined up and perfectly matched, but it fits the guitar. This piece of spruce was replaced by another tech. I don't know who it was. It wasn't one of us here at the shop, but they did a really great job. Right here where his arm makes contact with the guitar was worn down to nothing, and this chip had come out, so I re-glued it, got it in there as tight as I could get. That thing is never going to come out of there again. Well, never say never or always, right? So we got that all, and you can see the checkering in it is really beautiful, and where I've had to sand and polish this thing, it did remove some of the checkering, but I have no choice in that because I've got to cover this binding with some lacquer. We did a very, very thin layer of lacquer. If you've ever done finish work like this on a guitar, you know what I mean. And not many people, I guess, I know a lot of techs have repaired old guitars like this, but not very friendly. So as you can see, there's a lot of wear and tear on the instrument that was already there. Gone through it and polished it, and you can see this thing shines like the day it was made. Now, I spent probably 3 or 4 days cleaning smoke stains off of this guitar that had never been done. This played in bars when people were able to smoke. It has about 4 different types of finish. This is, I believe, the original lacquer, and then I don't know what somebody put back in this area of the guitar, but there's a telltale cloud mark right here. Hopefully you can see that, where the finish goes from lacquer to something else. So this back end of it looks kind of funky right now, but that's that. That's all I can do, and we're not looking for a perfect guitar. And then here's the back of it, and you'll notice, man, it has a really nice shine to it. Now, I literally just got done polishing this morning, so it still feels a little bit like when you polish your car. You can kind of run your hand down it and almost feel sticky, but obviously this thing has a ton of checkering, which is what a Gibson should look like at this age. And I've polished the neck and got all the lacquer, or the nicotine and smoke stains off of the neck, which it has not looked like this probably since 1980, maybe. Obviously it's been played a lot, lots of wear and tear. And let me get up here so you can see the headstock is nice and pretty, and the machine heads are just working perfectly, and we're about ready to play some music with this thing. Oh, that's right, you're working on an 18i8. You told me that the other day, and forgive me for not remembering that. Yeah, I have so much stuff going through my brain right now. Okay, well, what do you say? Let's see how this thing sounds. It's a beautiful, I believe it's a 69 or a 70 Gibson J-40. The serial number is not really legible anymore. I believe the thing was refinished at one time in its life, and they, of course, as most guys do, sand the finish, or sand the serial number basically out of it. You can sort of see it, but it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna. I'm just giving it a final stretch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Everybody plays an acoustic guitar like this, right? Pose the question for anybody watching, if you care, what chord would you like to hear on this thing first? I did a pretty good job stretching them. What would you like to hear for the first chord? I'll wait. I got time now. That went a whole lot more quickly than I had expected. 18i8. Yeah, I love my 18i20. Focusrites and Scarlett, the interfaces are I'll be careful. The one interface, or any interface that uses the ASIO for all driver, at least on a Windows machine, I don't want to use it. I don't even want to work with them at all. That thing is it's a terrible, at least it's terrible in the fact that I used it for a short while, and I have a Behringer audio interface connected to this computer that I'm working with right now. And you can't, there's not enough routing possibilities when you've got an audio interface that you can do routing with, but the ASIO for all driver is just, in my humble opinion, no idea what chord, Lars. Well, all right. Why don't I go ahead and cut the strings off of this, and we'll see if anybody else comes up with a chord name that they would like to hear, because that always is fun for me to hear what other people might want to hear for a chord. And usually people usually I get some chord that it doesn't really, it either isn't a chord, or you could call it 18 different things, which any chord you can do that with, but or 18.3 different things is what I meant. Let's see. Yeah. CFCG, repeat, please. Are you serious? I will do it. You were the first one who spoke up, man. I appreciate that. Mark, thank you for being here, man. Really cool old guitar. Check this thing out, man. It's just beautiful. I did polish the frets today, and cleaned the fingerboard, oiled it with some linseed oil, getting all my fingerprints off of it, polished the headstock, polished the back, front, everything. Finished that up today. So this thing is really beautiful right now. It will not look this beautiful in a couple days after the boys get their hands on it and play the hell out of it, and it will get played a lot. All right. CFCG. Okay. Well, let's do that. Oh, why don't we, while we're at it, let's do this. Just because you called out such interesting chords, complex chord progression. And I'm being sarcastic right now. Let's. You got a tempo? Basic rock and roll chords. I hear you, brother. Well, sounds like the electronics still work on it. I think. Noisy. Let me see what's going on here. I wonder if I have I don't think this thing. Ooh boy, that's ugly. I played the wrong chord, but we'll do it. I just wanted to check my tuning. So this pickup is really noisy, probably a single coil. It happens when you cut the strings off, they always go flat or sharp. Let me get this pointed so you can see the whole instrument. Let's see. I'm going to get creative here. How about we do something 6/8? Let's see. All right. 6/8 or 3/4? What do you think? on it 5 minutes ago. What do you expect? I'm gonna try and talk him into putting a can. This pickup is really noisy. Right? This might be it's probably a single coil pickup, so it's very noisy and it's not hardly any output at all. Very quiet. She's done. She's ready. Sounded pretty good. Pretty proud of this. Again, here's what she looks like. A good full view of the binding. Again, it's bird's eye maple. It was made by my ex-brother-in-law from Portland. We were born on the same day, same year, and he married my sister. It's kind of cool. It's been a long time being friends. I don't see him hardly ever anymore. I was really sad. I have a really great family, but nobody ever comes and visits, so I may have seen them all for the last time, and I just wanted to say that real quick, just to let you know I have made hundreds and hundreds of trips, not hundreds, but at least 100 trips to Portland since I've lived here, and I've had 2 visits from my family over the last 23 years, yeah, something like that, literally 2. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab the owner of this guitar, see if he wants to maybe pick a little bit for you. This guy's a fantastic guitar player. Kevin, what's happening? Hello, Independent Man United. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate your promoting of people's channels on other channels on the web. That's really cool. I would love to have you as a moderator on my channel. In fact, I should do that. Would you be interested in doing that for me? I would love to have you aboard. We're doing that Jamland. I think I only have 3 people that are mods on my channel, and it's really awesome. They're all really cool dudes. The Falcro, Jam Pro, and Mark Tanner. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Yeah, the thing really looks gorgeous now. Let me go, give me a moment. I'm going to go grab the owner and see if I can talk him into maybe coming over and picking on this thing for a minute. It's been a year since he's been able to play it. Hugh, what's up, brother? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I'll take care of that. Hugh, dude, I got her done. I got this thing done. It's beautiful. Check out this binding work, brother. I know you can appreciate this and how shiny it is now. Good Lord. I don't know if I can get any better light on it than what I've got here. There's a little bit to give you an idea of how shiny this thing is. And it is a long way from where it started out. All of this binding was done, and it was handmade in Portland, Oregon. And I just, a real fun project. I did the whole bending of it and used the heat gun and got it hot and bent all the corners. Look at the back of this thing. God, it's so weird to look at this guitar like this. I've looked at it for as being such a messy guitar for so long. To see it shiny like this is really kind of weird, because this guitar's been a part of my life for, God, I'm the new guy here, 17 years. I've been working here, so pretty cool. I mean, total 17 years. Yeah. Let me go grab the owner, see if he'll play this thing for us.
No, I think it's great. It works out. No, it's a win-win for you. And it's only been a couple of times where I think Marshall did one time. And Stu never. Oh, and then Chris did one, and Stu did one down here. And they were about a half an hour each. You know, it wasn't like. So we didn't take a bunch of money out of the pocket. We were out of town. Yeah. Oh no, hell, I don't care about that. Anytime you make money, do it. We're not getting paid, right? You know, you're loyal to us, so we're loyal to you. I appreciate that. So we just got to make it all work. Do what I do for you guys. Got that union school job we created. Oh, you got a check? How was that for fast? That was like, we have to call him Mr. Beck. Monday or Tuesday? I think we have to call him Mr. Beck. Oh my God!
The whole world's watching right now.
Oh really?
They're all waiting for you. Yeah, do you mind?
No. Holy smokes! What? I don't believe this. Have you posted pictures of what this looked at like before?
I haven't gotten Chris. I'm gonna go grab him.
Oh my God!
Just pick on that thing for a little bit, see what you think. It's gonna feel the same, and it might be a little bit sticky, just because I just got done polishing it. But
yeah, that's
my little short little bench.
Yeah, that feels great.
You gotta put a can in it, Mike. That pickup in that thing
How to play some Mississippi John Hurt, 'cause that's probably where I learned how to do that on this guitar.
Right.
God, wow.
Amazing.
Really cleaned up.
I mean, I gotta polish my fingernails.
No, you did great on that. Has Chris seen this yet?
No, I wouldn't let him come in here.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't come cheap.
I told him to stay outside.
That's cool. That is amazing. That is
all shiny and stuff.
I can't believe that's the same guitar, Marshall.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Chris and I were both abusive spouses to this guitar.
Yeah.
And it's.
Well, I got all the smoke off of it. Yeah. You guys smoking and playing in smoky bars and stuff.
Back in the day. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. And the binding's all, it fits the.
Yeah, it looks great.
Patina of the guitar.
It's perfect. I mean, this had so many cracks and dings and.
Yeah, and one thing that kind of broke my heart, because when I was polishing on this and having to wet sand the lacquer that I had to shoot over this to protect that wood, it kind of took some of the checkering, right on the edges. But, especially if you look at the back, it's like, oh man. I mean, it's not gone, but
I like it. It looks great.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really tell anything was done to it. So much else has been done to it over the years.
Everything that could be broken on it was broken, and it's just the right thing to do when you have a quality instrument, to put the money into it and the time and bring it back to life. And
well,
now, 100 years from now, somebody will be banging out.
Yeah.
Gloria.
Gloria.
That is a nice job, my man.
Yeah, we did it.
It's a good day.
We did it. This was a fun
Fantastic.
one. Learning experience. Another one. If you have a guitar with broken binding, send it to me. I'll fix it. I promise.
Broken anything.
Anything
Yeah.
busted. We don't throw anything away. Yeah,
man. Good
cool.
job.
I'm gonna go grab Chris and have him come up
Oh
and
yeah,
look at
absolutely.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome, Mark. The Guitar Whisperer. Mark, no, I don't think I have. I'll have to look through my. I'll have to look through my videos. There might be a video on YouTube, and if I did shoot some video or take some photographs, I'll do that. Oftentimes on my on the guitars that I'm working for the owner of my shop, I can't really, because I'm really hurrying to get that done, because we're not making any money on that stuff. And sharing that, it kind of takes time, obviously. I'm sitting here talking right now when I should be working. But with this one being done, and as big of a project as it was, I'm really proud of this one. It turned out great. It doesn't sound any different than before I started working on it, but the binding was literally, and I still am finding chunks of the binding around, but it had some really thick tortoiseshell-ish binding on it, and I believe that the binding I know it had been changed before, because you can't put this piece of wood in here and not have to do something with the binding. That's virtually impossible. So I believe that the binding was replaced at one point in time, and it was super thick, and it was just very brittle, and especially like right here, it was literally missing right here. It had cracked, and it was glued on really well. Whoever glued that shit on here, man, it took me days to chisel all that stuff off here, and I literally used a chisel to knock that stuff off of this thing. So this thing was a big job. Give me a moment, if you will, and just hang in there for a moment, because I want to go grab his son is the actual owner, or the guy that plays this thing. I want to go grab him and let him see it for the first time, see if he doesn't shed a tear or something, because this thing does not look anything like what, oh, there he is.
Wow, that looks great. I dig it. It sort of looks like a 70s Gibbs, remember with like the white binding?
Yeah.
I think that's a cool look.
Yeah, it's a little bit sticky, but give it a tickle, man. You want to sit down? Or...
Sweet.
It's kind of a short stool, but I do. Yeah. I just put strings on it a half hour ago, and your old man played it, so it's really fucked up now.
God, it sounds great. It's never sounded this good. It really hasn't.
I wouldn't really know. I didn't play it much before. It's just tighter. Everything's tight.
Yeah, and it's lively. It's never been this lively. It was always sort of muted.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked the, it's way better. But it was in pieces. You know what I mean? Like, it was broke.
Dude. Yeah, and I can't remember everything. I mean, there's no way I'm going to recall it. And there might be binding in there or not binding, but braces in there.
Oh,
that
there
I
was.
Solidified.
There was several.
Yeah. I don't remember doing that. It's been a year and a half or however long it's been. And all these bare spots where the wood's, I hit that with lacquer.
Oh, so it
protected it. So looks good on you, man. You make that thing look good.
I don't know. I played it for a long time.
Yeah, I remember going and sound checking for you guys one time with this thing. We should consider putting a K&K in this, though.
Oh, okay. You want
Does
to
that
get rid
pick
of that?
up? Well, I've got it plugged into this little amp, and there's just really low output.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and it just
It doesn't have a lot of output.
no. And it's gonna feel a little sticky because I just polished it, so give it some time. And
it feels
that'll-
good.
I might even go over it with lighter fluid just to make sure to get all that.
It never. You really had to hit it to get something out of it, and you know before, and now you don't at all.
Stu said the same thing. He's like, you play it softly and it just doesn't do anything. And you
Totally.
dig into it and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, but now it's.
It's got a really,
But it's
yeah.
still. I'm a Gibson. I've always sort of been a Gibson acoustic guy. I sold Martins for a long time. I sold them in
Yeah.
Portland and stuff. I love them. They're beautiful, but for playing,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have a different. I would be perfect. I play a Taylor,
Yeah.
but I play Gibsons at home. You know.
They're very, in my humble opinion, they're very comparable. Gibson and Taylor are far more comparable than, say, a Martin and a Taylor. That's I feel that way about them. Just playing this thing feels like my 414.
Oh yeah.
You know, the next bigger. I think,
Is it?
I think it's a little more stout, but still, it just feels. And it could be the frets that are used. Who knows? And this thing is gonna need. We may have to do some frets on it before too long. I almost did it this time, but I figured I'd just we can get another year out of it. We'll be happy with that. Those are clear tone 11s. You need
That
to go.
sounds
You
great.
need to use this at your next gig. Christen it proper.
We have a gig on Saturday. Like
You got a gig Saturday.
Yeah.
Perfect opportunity. Brand new strings.
Yeah.
So you have to break one. That's the only rule.
I don't break them as often as I used to. I mean, I used to break strings at every single gig. This thing is nice.
We did, I think on your Taylor we did new frets and stuff on it, which could
Yeah.
be contributing to that whole.
No.
No.
It's only when I'm an idiot. You know, it really is. It's only when I'm being stupid and having fun and hitting.
Yeah.
You know, it's always the first or second string that I'm digging on.
The adrenaline sets in and bang! Oops. That thing really does sound fantastic.
Dude, it sounds.
Lively.
I've owned this guitar for 30 years, something
Yeah.
like that, and my dad owned it for 20 years before
Yeah.
that, 25 years,
Yeah.
and or maybe we both had it for about 25 years, and it's never sounded this good. It really
No, man.
yeah, it's never sounded this good. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but it didn't sound. It wasn't this lively. It wasn't this punchy. It wasn't this. Didn't have all that tone to it. It was just sort of muted, and
Muffled, yeah.
it had a good E string,
Yeah.
and that was about it. And but that's cool. You know, like that's especially if you're an acoustic player and you're doing this all night long. You don't really need much else.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Just turn it up.
I mean, that's essentially my job in the band.
Yep. When you got two of the best lead guitar players you could ever hope for.
Just sort of make.
Jerry, dude. He's fucking scary. I would love to do a clinic with him one of these days to get him to share.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
But
You guys are.
what I figure if because Holly usually plays some sort of percussion too, and if I am playing some sort of percussion part, I can sort of get out of the way for Mark to also find something that so he doesn't have to play on the hi-hat,
Right.
because we're sort of already
You
doing
got
that.
it, right?
Yeah. If it makes sense, and then sometimes he can do something else.
Yeah.
You know, he can play more or less or whatever. You know,
I don't get to see you guys play very often, of course, because I'm playing all the time. I'm playing, or you guys are. But is there much time during your sets where you just don't play at all, or are you pretty much, do you find yourself going all night all the time, or I don't know if it varies, because you guys do probably a really vast set. I'm curious.
I play on every song,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
sometimes sometimes I play next to nothing, you know, or like,
Pull down a percussion part.
Totally.
Chunka or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, sometimes that's it. It's a 6-piece band with 3 guitar players, so there is not a lot of room for me to do that, because there's lots of
The
guys
other two
doing
are
that.
doing all of that.
Yeah, yeah, and I never get to bend strings, you know. But like on, you know, there's lots of songs where I'm like doing like a halftime finger picking thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like half the speed of everybody else, and if I were to do it just you know, and that's it. But when it's in conjunction with 6 other pieces, it sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Well, I've been able to see you guys play, I think in the last 2 years, once or twice. Before that, I was doing sound for you guys quite a bit.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's been. I know that the band has evolved. They all do. So it'd be.
And when you're doing sound, you're listening, but you're not. You're not.
not going
You're not paying attention. You're not enjoying the music.
Mhm.
You know, you're sort of looking at it critically. So
Especially
I get
for you.
that.
Turn
too.
my monitor up, fucker.
It sounds
You guys are
great.
easy.
It's awesome.
They flatten out up in the upper register, I think, a little bit. There might be a little buzz going on there, but that's pulling the
care.
neck and resetting the neck.
If-
and we'll-
I mean, I never play higher than
yeah,
that.
you don't get up there.
It's fine. And even if it's a little flappy, I don't care. You know,
use a capo.
Yeah,
Don't
all
you?
the time.
Throw one on there, see what it does with that.
that's what I was thinking. Like, I play up here a lot. You know, like that.
Very good tune.
Yeah. And this thing has always been has really nice intonation up on the neck, so you don't have to retune it. When I was using 2 guitars, I would use so I used this and the Martin for a while, and I would play open chords on the Martin, because if you put a capo on it, it pulls it
Yank.
wildly out of tune.
What
And
Martin was that? You have another Martin also, or was it one of your dad or Mike's playing?
no, my HD28.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I dug playing it, I dug a hole in the top, and so then when I put a,
Sort of have that one protected. A
I
little
know,
bit.
I put a flamenco, that's a flamenco pick guard.
Yeah, it
But
needed
I did need it. I mean, I was
Took it a
about
hole
to,
right through it.
yeah. And the Martin, this is actually a better, it's a thicker piece of spruce than is on the HD28. So
Taylor's one for that too. It's like,
my Taylor, for whatever reason, I think it's the finish is hard enough
Yeah.
that I haven't worn through it.
Yeah.
It must be the combination of like the type of pick I use with the type of finish that Taylor uses.
Yeah.
I haven't worn through it at all.
Is yours a matte finish? Like
No.
It's a
It's-
gloss.
It's
Oh,
just,
okay.
I think it's a 414.
Yeah. Yeah. The model,
Yeah.
it's a 410. It's a 410, which is no cutaway.
No
Or-
cutaway.
Or no, it is a 414, not a It's not a CE.
It's not a CE.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we have the same exact guitar. Yours might be a year older.
Oh, okay.
Mine's a CE though.
Okay. Well, I never need a CE.
I gotta have it.
Yeah.
I love having that. Thing really does sound great.
It sounds
It's got a
great.
Beautiful voice, man.
But those strings were just nothing before.
I really think that, I don't know, how much you're going to be playing it plugged in or if you will, but it definitely could use a K&K. My 2 cents.
Yeah, I like the sound of those in-hole pickups, but the King
But
Case
isn't
one
there
really-
something weird? Do whatever you want. But I think this is a weird input panel thing too.
Alright, so this is hot.
Okay.
And listen to this. You got it?
Because he went with the single.
Yeah.
There was a dual.
So that's what I thought it was a single, but a K&K would be silent. You weren't playing, and no volume control.
I know.
Although I was also sitting fairly close to the amplifier, and also I've got it boosted a lot here,
Okay.
out that,
Yeah.
and the amp's kind of cranked up. So, but it's you playing it that makes it sound good.
I mean, I think it would probably sound better with a K&K in it.
It'd have
But-
a lot more output, and there's a preamp in it, and
it's a soundboard, right? Or does it mount on the soundboard? It's not a
This-
piezo, right?
No, it's mounted to the saddle plate.
Okay,
Or the
okay.
bridge plate.
Okay.
Yeah. It actually glue them in place.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then it's a microphone that's just, it's literally, you can talk in the guitar with those and it'll pick up your voice like you're in a 57.
I wondered why they sounded so good.
It's not a piezo, not at all. On this one, it would be fun to put one in there because usually they have a little, they have a golf tee, and you put down through the holes, the pinholes.
Oh.
This doesn't have pinholes, so putting one in this guitar would be an interesting if we decide to do that. So,
Well, whatever you think. What do you think, Stu?
On that,
Yeah.
I love that pickup because it sounds like the old late 60s, John Lennon kind of affair. But if you wanted a natural sound, a breathy, wispy sound, and acoustic sound, the K&Ks are going to be far better.
And it gives you a volume control on the guitar, so when you stop playing,
Yeah.
not that that's ever a problem for you guys. Your Taylor has
But I never use
you
it.
don't even touch it.
No.
Yeah.
I never touch it. I'm glad it's there,
Yeah.
but I'm sort of a set it and forget it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I would get and you're running your own sound most of it all the time, so you don't have to worry about feedback. You're not gonna set your guitar right down in front of the monitor.
No, and I have a tuner, so I kick it off when I'm not,
Yeah. Well, you can.
Seems a lot more stable, doesn't it?
What?
That guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, it had a little bit of a weird growl to it. It was that loose plates that Chuck went around on.
It was broken.
He was absolutely broken for years and years.
It actually sounds like a musical instrument now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like,
You know, like I always thought it was cool, but it lots of
Machine has really, those things are sweet.
those are not the
I
oh,
know.
those old Gattos, they were great.
What brand are they?
The Gattos, the old Gatto.
or
Gattos.
Godo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gattos. Yeah.
I think Gatto might actually be the right pronunciation.
That's the way
We always called them
That's what we
Godo.
used to call them back in the
Yeah.
70s and 80s. But I remember when we put those on there, because it has some real it had the ones on there you look at and you could see them turning.
Yeah.
You know, just from the vibration.
Yeah.
And Mike said, "Hey, let's throw some different machines on there." And
Well, and those had the rails basic. They were all a strip.
they were the darn 3-in-1. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You had to see the lines from them.
Oh yeah.
They had the old 3-in-1 Clusons, and they were wore out. You could actually visibly
Watch
watch them turn.
Now these, man, these would be, I don't know, I'd be shocked if they make a tuner that's that accurate
We probably
anymore.
put those on in like 82, 83, somewhere in there.
That's really chunky and cool sounding.
Yeah, that's one thing about that guitar. It's kind of subtle, and then all of a sudden you get on it, it just barks like crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like it. It looks prettier now too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I like the light. It sort of looks like an old Western style guitar or something. I think it's cool
White
as shit.
binding.
Yeah.
It had the old nasty.
I was a
chorus
little
binding
worried
in
it was going to be a little bit too light, but after I got lacquer on it, it kind of mellowed it
nice.
out a little bit, and it
I think it's
blends
really
in.
cool.
I like the big chunky thick.
Nobody in the world is gonna have a guitar like this.
Nope.
Nope.
This is 101.
Impossible. Yeah.
I mean, it's a J-40, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it might be a second too.
It's,
It is
it's
the
a
B.
second, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, the serial number, the first letter is a B.
Yeah. So it's a second.
And it's probably because there's, it's that piece of green right there in the neck.
Yeah, Gibson used to-
You won't
Gibson-
see it.
Oh yeah.
They were funny
Yeah.
about that back in the day, boy.
They were.
They threw second beats on a lot of instruments. They
Yeah.
didn't
I've
deserve it.
worked on it's surprising, but there are several of those in the area.
Yeah.
I've worked on doves.
Yeah.
Kid had a dove that was that way, and I think that one might even be a B.
Really?
That Blue Ridge
I think it
custom.
might be, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how many of those, but that might be due to the shop that sold Gibsons over in Baker City.
Oh, maybe he ordered a lot of B stock.
Get them a little better. There's nothing wrong with them. They just have a little flaw in a wood grain or
Yeah.
something. That's all I've ever seen. And that one I can't find. Of course, the flaw might have been in the piece that's been replaced.
Who knows?
It's weird seeing some gloss on that thing, seeing some shine. It's amazing, isn't it?
I know. It didn't have any shine to it.
No, it was as dull as they
Yeah,
get.
it was dull. And God, I've had a couple people ask me if I have any pictures of it before.
I mean, maybe if there's pictures of me playing it.
Yeah. I haven't dug through all my photos on my camera. I don't think I did any video of the work that I did on it because I was just trying to get it
Busting
done.
through it.
Yeah.
Boy, it sounds great though.
Yeah, I like that guitar. I always have.
Yeah, and playing it, I thought it doesn't. I didn't change anything on the setup. Nothing. It's exact. I didn't even turn the trusser on.
Yeah.
Nothing. I haven't even checked that. So, but it feels. My recollection, the string action really low,
Yeah.
and it just.
It's because Mike tortured Stu until he got it that low.
Yeah.
But it's because of that bridge. I mean, there's just no other guitar that can get this sort of action.
And it's done. There's
That's
no
that's as low as she can go.
You can't lower the saddle. If you look at the treble E string, it's like literally going straight
I
into
know.
the hole.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And what I always like about that guitar is it's a maple neck guitar, and you know,
Is it?
Yeah, but it's made of maple.
I didn't know that. I mean, there is flame in it.
Yep, yeah, and that's why they don't break. If it was mahogany neck, it would have been broken a dozen times by now. But the maple neck Gibsons were the ones that have.
Because they're really, maple is really hard.
Really
It's
hard.
brittle.
Yep, it is.
And it's a mahogany body though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like that combination. That's a great combination.
I've always always liked maple necks, even when I didn't know it was a maple. Like, I didn't know this was a maple neck. I assumed it was a mahogany.
Yeah.
You know, because the finish is sort of the same. But
Yep.
I mean, now that you look at it, it's clearly.
Yeah. They just stained it, shot
Yeah.
the kind of a sunburst.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, that's a neat guitar, but I'd much rather have that because of the maple neck. I like the rosewood body on that.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
cool.
really, really cool. But that mahogany neck on that is always going to be waiting to get busted.
I broke lots of necks.
It's easy to do.
Best thing you can do with a Gibson, take it out of the case and break the headstock.
Yeah.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah, I like that guitar.
I mean, and this thing's fallen, but it's also light.
It is not heavy as like a lot of them. For maple neck, it's particularly light. When you think it'd be heavier than hell.
Yeah.
It must be the body that's light. The
Yeah.
neck is where the weight is.
Yep. Yep, it's got a lot of neck weight.
And so, like, it's a very, very comfortable guitar to
It
wear.
hangs well. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no weight in the body.
hmm
It's all the weight's in the neck.
Well, that is pretty. From here, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
It broke my heart to have to polish it like that, man. I gotta tell you.
Take all the road grime off of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it has. I mean, it's been in. It has been in a lot of bars.
Oh
God,
boy.
I didn't notice that the fingerboard was that worn out.
Oh, dude, it's got the old man fingernail disease.
Yeah.
Big time. I mean, it's developing. You guys don't do that to your guitars very badly, though, but you probably keep your fingernails
Oh.
trimmed
Yeah.
because you don't want them in the way. But, dude, I've seen holes. Like, there ain't much wood left on that. on that
This is
fingerboard.
just this wear is not from fingernails. It is from fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's
Mine
it.
are the same. Dude. I
Yeah.
always keep them. If I got a long, it's.
Oh, it drives
instantly.
me crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just keep my thumbnail long because I got to use it working on guitar. But everything else, man.
Well, you think about it, Mike bought that guitar in '71, and he played it all those years before he got the Martin, and then Chris got a hold of it, and you definitely play them.
Yeah. I get my $0 worth.
Right. All those years of smoke and all that
I
stuff.
know. I smoked too.
That had a
Yeah.
horrible pickup system in it at one point. It was,
I still used it. It was those dots, I think, right?
yeah, it was the old dots.
Oh.
Yeah, big old funky dots that they were kind of cemented on the top, and they were.
The biggest problem with them, well, there was a few. They had no
Bottle
gain.
cap looking thing. Was this?
Yeah. Well, they were sort of like a moon miss, but one side was flat,
Yeah.
right? Like if you cut a nickel into 2/3.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they did that so you could put it up against the brace if you needed to.
Yeah.
Oh. Were they on the interior?
They were on the
Yeah.
Like
interior.
a K&K did,
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah.
the pancake, but they were
But terrible.
They had just a harsh, wrong tone.
I didn't mind the tone. They had no gain.
They were real quiet.
No gain at
Supposed
all.
to be amplified. Yeah,
Yeah.
preamp. Definitely.
And they were very, very prone to, to feedback.
Yeah, they were feedback kings. They were-
Because you know how you can get the top to buzz,
Oh, yeah.
and like if you just hit any of those low acoustic frequencies, so you'd have to dump the mids and lows completely, and then you'd just sort of have that.
Tink, tink,
Yeah.
tink, tink.
Yeah. But
Well, and with all the
still,
modern preamps and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the greatest things, I think you have one, is that notch filter.
oh yeah, yeah. I've got the aura, so I've got.
Oh, yeah. And you can get the idea. Go make it feedback, turn that notch filter to the feedback's gone, and
It actually the aura has an automatic notch
auto
filter.
feedback.
So you just
Or
go.
notch.
And Yeah.
Artificial intelligence, man, on an acoustic guitar. I love that setting on my Taylor. That has saved many performances.
Oh.
Hit a C chord and you get this, you just grab that thing and it's gone.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay, now leave it, don't touch it.
Yeah. Leave it there for the night.
You're still using that Aura with that Taylor still, right?
Well, I lost it, so I had to buy a new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that Aura since it came out. It also has imaging, which
Yes.
sounds like cheating, but it's really not. You know, like
Tool.
yeah.
You record with Pro Tools, right?
Yeah. 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 You know. But some people are like, oh, it's imaging. It's not real, but it's just you're just making your guitar sound as great as it possibly can.
Do you find yourself with that it's the Fishman Aura system,
Yeah.
correct? Do you find yourself using different I guess we call it a model.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself using different ones at different places, or you
So
pretty much?
typically, I find. So what you're supposed, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but what I've had the best luck with is finding the model that sounds the most like my guitar. You know, and so then you use that, and then your guitar just really sounds killer.
Yeah.
You know, and so the only time I change it if it's not sounding good, or if I just am struggling, which is almost never. You know, maybe 1 out of 50 gigs I'll start searching for it. Yeah. You know, and it's like I think ours is an OM size or a double O. I can't remember what it's
Grand Auditorium.
Grand Auditorium. Okay, so GM or whatever, or GA would be what Martin calls it.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, and so on the Aura it'll have like Grand Auditorium, Maple and Spruce, Grand Auditorium.
Whoa.
Mahogany and Spruce, Grand Auditorium, mahogany. But I have found that if I put it on Grand Auditorium, Spruce, mahogany, that is what sounds the best.
Yeah.
You know.
It's dialed in. My understanding is those things are kind of designed to make, rather than a pickup, it's almost emulating the best way a guitar sounds with a microphone in front of it, which you can almost never do live.
Totally.
That's
what they do, and then it'll actually tell you Grand Auditorium, Spruce, mahogany with a AKG, whatever, or it will tell you the microphone that it was recorded with too. And you're still using your live sound. You're just mixing in a slice of a really nice.
Yeah, and you can blend how much of the emulation is in with the mix.
Totally. Yeah.
I've never used one of those. I think I played through yours once.
Everything's great on the Lent car.
Yes. Let me go talk to him.
He's gonna come out and talk to you.
Well, okay. Thanks for hanging with me. I know that was a long conversation, but I had to do it. So it seems like everybody's real happy. Thanks for hanging. Y'all have a really great day. I'm about done with my work day today. I've gotten done what I needed to get done. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you all soon, hopefully on a Jamland sometime soon.